The Nationals take on the Orioles, 1:05 p.m. Eastern first pitch. The Baltimore Orioles are minus 120, totals 10.5, juice to the under. The Washington Nationals are plus $1 for some money line cash. And if you like them on the run line, they're minus 170, catching the 1.5. Paolo Espino is on the mound here for Washington. John Means for the O's. And following yet another disappointing day on my Patreon website, we dropped to 3-1 in our last 4 board member tier package picks on that Patreon page. Now we are still hitting at 64% our last 24 board member tier package picks in that very same category. And the good news is we have another board member tier package pick going off here today. We currently have over 950 folks who are signed up and active on that Patreon website. And if you want to see which one of these YouTube picks I'm actually betting on personally, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, the last place Orioles have the worst record in the American League. They're currently 31 games under 500. And they give up more runs than any other team in the majors at home. The O's are in the bottom 10 in the league in scoring on average per game. They've also gotten the W in just 15 out of 45 ball games at Camden Yards. They're taking on a Washington club who still has a winning record in their interleague games this year. This Nats lineup is also in the top 5 in the majors in hits on average per contest. Trey Turner is 5th in the league in batting average. The shortstop's hitting .318 with 18 home runs and an .889 OPS. Meanwhile, Juan Soto's 10th in the majors in OPS himself. The outfielder's got himself a .930 OPS, and he's also knocked in 55 runners. This Nationals lineup is in the top 10 in road scoring. Paolo Espino, he's taking the mound here today for Washington. He's got a 3.00 ERA and a 1.04 whip. Now, total-wise, Washington went 60% to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, Baltimore is 27-18 to the over in their contest at Camden Yards. I'm going to lean toward the Washington Nationals plus $1 in the over 10.5 runs. Next ball game, Braves, Phillies, 1:05 Eastern Standard Time. The Philadelphia Phillies are minus 165, totals 9.5. Aaron Nola for Philadelphia. Touki Toussaint returns for Atlanta. The Braves have won 4 out of their last 7. One of those victories was a 15-3 massacre over the Phillies just last night. Now, the Braves currently have a winning record within divisional play. They're also in the top 10 in scoring on average per game. Freddie Freeman's batting .293 with 23 homers and a .922 OPS. He's currently in the top 20 in all 3 of those categories in the majors. Meanwhile, Ozzie Albies is leading the team in RBI. He's in the top 10 in the league in that category with 66 runs batted in. Now, they're taking on a Philadelphia club who lost 4 out of their last 5 themselves. And they also have a losing record against the NL East this year. This Philadelphia lineup is in the bottom 10 in strikeouts at the plate. Meanwhile, pitching-wise, they're also in the bottom 10 in hits allowed per game. Now, Aaron Nola is just 6-6 on the year with a .464 ERA. When it comes to the number in this one, the Phillies are 27-22 to the under in their divisional matchups. Meanwhile, the Braves are 26-20 to the under when they bat first. I'm going to lean toward the Atlanta Braves plus 1.5 and the under 9.5 runs. Of that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for part 1. It is going to be Cardinals versus the Reds, 1:10 p.m. East. The Cincinnati Reds are minus 165, totals 10. Sonny Gray for Cincinnati, Johan Oviedo for St. Louis. Now, Oviedo's 0-5 on the year, .481 ERA, and a 1.50 whip. The Cards have lost 3 out of their last 5 ball games, with 2 of those losses coming against Cincinnati in this very series. The Cards have a losing record against the NL Central this year. They've also got the W in just 21 out of 51 road games. And that's good for only 41% in that particular category. The St. Louis pitching staff walks more batters than any other team in baseball. They also have the fewest strikeouts per game than any other team in the majors as well. They're taking on a Cincinnati club who's got a winning home record, and they've also been pretty dominant in divisional play. The Reds are 27-16 straight up against the NL Central. They've gotten the W in 61% of their divisional home games. The Cincinnati lineup is in the top 5 in home scoring. Jesse Winker is batting .297 with 20 homers and 56 RBI. The outfielder also has an OPS of .905, which is in the top 20 in baseball. And despite just a 2-5 record on the year, starting pitcher Sonny Gray has 86 strikeouts and a .365 ERA. Now, total-wise, 5 out of Cincinnati's last 8 games at the Great American Ballpark went over the number. The Reds are also 15-8 to the over in their divisional home games. Meanwhile, St. Louis saw 63% of their divisional road games get over the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Cincinnati Reds -165 and the over 10 runs. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my Patreon website. I like Washington plus $1 over 10.5. Atlanta plus 1.5 under 9.5 runs. Before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are 3-1 in our last 4 board member tier package picks on my Patreon website. We're also hitting at 64% in our last 24 board member tier package picks in that very same category. I'm going to lean toward the Cincinnati Reds -165 and the over 10 runs. And with that, guys, now it's time for our shout out of the day. And of course, this shout out comes from our YouTube platform, and it goes to EA. Shout out to EA, who said, and I quote, "Yo man, thank you. I turned $25 into $1 million. Congratulations. That is a great win. Unbelievable." I'll tell you what, EA, I have a bridge for sale. So if you're interested, just shoot me a DM. Let me know in the comments section, and we'll link up, and I'll give you all the details about the bridge I'm selling you. But once again, congratulations on turning $25 into $1 million. That's a millionaire maker, and that's just one of the great things that we can help you do here at Brock Page Productions. No, I'm totally being facetious, but anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today on my Patreon website, just keep in mind, Patreon's going to bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today, you're going to get access to that content all the way through the end of July. And if you continue to stay opted in, Patreon's going to bill you again on August 1st, and then you'll get access to that content all the way through the end of August. But most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, guys, happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.